Hey everyone, it's Lauren Robertson here. Today I want to talk to you about how to actually go within and recognize the voice of your own intuition. Now, we have a lot of internal voices within us. We have the voice of our mothers, we have the voice of our priests or pastors, we have the voices of our teachers, of our siblings, of the media, of society. There's a lot of rabble going on in there. And then, of course, we've got that lovely, helpful, loving, friendly, note the sarcasm, voice of self doubt. You know, that voice that tells us we can't do it, we're wrong, we are not good enough, like all of that stuff. So, in amongst all of those voices, how do you actually hear the voice of your own intuition? Now, this is a question that is important for you whether you're a medium or whether you're just listening to this for like general life advice, because the voice of your own intuition is your hotline to spirit. So, if you are a medium or an intuitive practitioner, if you do readings for other people, then learning to hear and know and trust the voice of your own intuition is a gateway to more powerful spiritual work for other people as well. So, this goes for you whether you're just trying to get more tuned into yourself for your own reasons, or whether you're trying to get more tuned in so you can help other people. So, like I said, there's a lot of voices going on in there, and it can be really difficult to discern which is which. And a lot of the time, when we are listening to the voice of fear, we can mistake it for our intuition. And a lot of the time when clients want to come and work with me and they have like this big dream to change something or whatever, and then they say, oh, let me sit on it, or let me think about it, or let me ask my husband, or let me meditate on it, what they're really listening to, honestly, is the voice of fear. And so, my personal belief and my personal opinion is that the voice of your intuition was not really nurtured or nourished or taught to you. Like, you weren't taught to listen to the voice of your own inner guidance. You were taught from when you were a child to listen to the voices that are around you, to listen to those who know better than you. But I would argue that actually nobody knows better than you. I'm making this video because last week I made a video talking about how you actually are ancient. Like, even when you were a baby, your DNA, all of the processes that had to happen to get you here is like time immemorial. It's like you're so ancient. Everything that's happened to get you here is so ancient, it would actually blow your mind. So even when you're born as a tiny baby, you have within you all of the wisdom of the entire universe up to this moment of your birth, and then obviously up to the moment of now. But when we're born and we become conscious, we learn to trust the outside voices, and we learn to distrust, or we're never taught how to trust the internal voice, and so the external voices become internalized. My personal opinion is that from about the age of 7 years old, parents should really be asking their children, what do you think? Right? So from about the age of 7, parents should be asking their children, what do you think? Now, I'm guessing that your parents, my parents, like not many parents are going about asking their children from the age of 7, what do you think? And getting them into a dialogue and a conversation about the way they see the world, about the process that they go through. And for me, that is what builds that internal strength, that internal voice, that internal sense of knowing, is reaching for that question, what do you think? Now, as I mentioned, like, parents aren't going about doing this. Parents are going about saying, do as I say, not as I do. Don't argue, just do it because, just in every way, just not training the child to listen to their own inner self. And so most of us are the product of being told what to do instead of being asked and listened and engaged with and encouraged to figure out what we should do for ourselves. And so, this muscle of listening to your intuition, your inner knowing, your inner self, it's a bit weak. It's a bit flabby. It's a bit like, I haven't worked this muscle out in a while. And so most of us have a bit of a task ahead of working this particular muscle out. And it starts with a very simple question. And the question is, what's best for me? Okay, so if you want to get better at listening to your own intuition and identifying the difference between your internal mother's voice, father's voice, pastors, teachers, siblings, media, whoever, if you really want to get good at it, you need to sit with the question of what is best for me? And at first, it will be a distant echo that you're probably too scared to take action on, to be quite honest. But the more you sit with that question, what's best for me, the stronger that voice will become. And the more you ask that question, the more it will guide you to actions and thoughts and behaviours that are cogent with who you really are and that belong to who you really are when you ask yourself, what's best for me? And you've got to ask yourself in all different scenarios. So when you're in the supermarket and you're trying to decide what to eat or buy, or whether to get fruit or a naughty snack like from the chocolate aisle or whatever, take a deep breath and just ask, what's best for me? When you're like scrolling through Tinder and trying to make a decision whether to go on this date or not, just take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is best for me? When you are working with a client and you're like finding it tough or it's not really working, take a deep breath and ask yourself, what is best for me? In all different scenarios, in all different situations. Because when you develop that muscle and you develop that trust and that ability to listen to and act upon your inner knowing, that is a gateway to a truly authentic life. But not only that, that's a gateway to other people seeing that you have got it going on. You've got it figured out. You're being radically authentic and true to yourself. And that's the sort of medium or practitioner or whatever that people gravitate towards. And so by changing your focus to think about what's best for you, you're not just doing it for yourself, you're doing it for the people that you help and you touch and you connect and get into communication with. So tell me what you think. I'd love to know in a comment, whose voices have you internalized? Who have you been listening to? Where have you got a decision in your life where you've been like grappling and struggling with it because you just know that your voice, your true voice, is doing battle with, the voice of someone else who you've internalized? Tell me about it in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, please do share it. Thank you very much for that. And please like and subscribe if you're on my YouTube or my Facebook page. Thanks very much for tuning in. And remember, today ask, what is best for me? That is how you tune the voice of your intuition. Bye.